Good afternoon. Good afternoon and welcome. It is Monday. I just finished up our last class at the Bergen County Health Department. I'm not sure if you're aware that I teach classes at organizations and businesses, and we had a really wonderful last class. They completed a series of sessions from July all the way to November, and they had some really awesome results. A pretty significant drop in their rate of burnout. Lots of really great stuff. So I was a little emotional. They gave me some nice cards and wrote some nice letters, so that was really sweet. So welcome. It's good to have you guys here. We are going to be talking about anxiety. All right, anxiety today. So far for the month of November, we've been talking about worry and anxiety. And in the first lesson, we discussed the difference between worry and anxiety. And then in the second lesson, we talked about tips for managing worry. And now we're going to talk about tips for managing anxiety. So let's first talk about what exactly is anxiety. So anxiety is characterized by feelings of tension, worry, worrisome thoughts, and physical changes like an increase in our blood pressure. So usually people who have anxiety have recurring intrusive thoughts or concerns, and they may even avoid situations because of this anxiety. They also tend to have physical sensations associated with the anxiety, such as sweating, dizziness, rapid heartbeat, troubles with digestion, etc. This has really become quite an epidemic. Roughly 40 million Americans suffer from anxiety, and most do not seek treatment, and 275 million people worldwide. Okay, so let me just repeat that. Roughly 40 million Americans suffer from anxiety, and most do not receive treatment. They do not seek treatment, less than half actually, and 275 million people worldwide. There are some different kinds of anxiety disorders. So if you have been experiencing a particular type of anxiety over a prolonged period of time, then it might be characterized and diagnosable through the DSM-5 as an anxiety disorder, which would be generalized anxiety disorder, OCD or obsessive compulsive, panic disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, or social anxiety disorder. So that being said, since so many people are experiencing anxiety, we're going to talk about some ways that we can manage it. Okay, some ways that we can manage it. The first tip I'm going to give you of how to manage anxiety with mindfulness is to drop into your body. Okay, what does that mean? So if you think about a storm outside, right? Let's say it's really pouring rain and it's windy and it's really crazy outside. Where do you want to be in that storm? Do you want to be in the branches of the tree, up there in the limbs, or do you want to be down in the trunk? Okay, obviously you want to be down in the trunk. So there is a sense of stability when we bring our attention down into the physical body and out of the mind. So your attention is kind of like a flashlight in your brain, and you're in charge of where you direct that flashlight. So anxiety often involves a fixation on certain thoughts. So when we shift our attention down into the body, it can help alleviate our anxiety. So we're just going to do a 2-minute body scan right now so that you can see what this actually feels like. Okay, so wherever you are, take a moment to just come into a comfortable seated position. Place your feet flat on the floor, and then start to direct your attention into your body. So letting go of what's happening in your mind, and then just starting to notice what is happening right now in between my eyes. Notice any sensations in your jaw, or noticing if you're clenching in your teeth. And then check in with your upper body. So just become aware of the sensations that are occurring across your shoulders. Maybe noticing your arms making contact on your lap. Notice if you're clenching in your belly. And then tune into the sensations in your lower body, maybe becoming aware of your legs making contact with the chair wherever you're sitting. And sensing your feet on the floor. And bringing your attention back into the space. So dropping into your body is the first tip for managing anxiety. It can really help to ground you. And the way that we do this with kids is we do a squeeze and release practice. So you take a muscle group and you show them how to squeeze, 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 like tense up the muscles of your face or tense up your shoulders and your arms, squeeze it nice and tight, and then let it go. So it's harder for them to kind of focus on the different parts of the body, but they are able to kind of tense and then feel that contrast of releasing. Okay, it really does help them to relieve the tension in the body. So dropping into the body with a body scan or a squeeze and release practice. The next tool I'm going to give you for managing anxiety with mindfulness is 3-5 breathing. 3-5 breathing. What does this mean? This means we're going to inhale to the count of 3 and we're going to exhale to the count of 5. Why? Because when we elongate the exhale, we are stimulating the vagus nerve, that nerve that runs from the back of the brain all the way down to your organs, that's associated with that rest and digest parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, so all you need to know is 3-5 breathing. Don't worry about all that other stuff. So we're going to breathe in through the nose to the count of 3, and we're going to breathe out to the count of 5. So let's just try a few rounds here. So breathing in to 3, pausing at the top, and then breathing out to 5. So slowing the exhale and elongating it. One more time, breathing in to 3 and out to 5. Good. So why does this work? First of all, you can do this anywhere, whenever you're experiencing a moment of anxiety. Even if you're in a conversation with someone, they won't even know you're doing it. So it's really helpful. It works because, again, it's stimulating that rest and digest system that's allowing you to calm the nervous system. When we're in a state of anxiety, we have a lot of stress hormones running through the body. Lots of adrenaline and cortisol are coursing through the bloodstream. And that makes us more, it makes us grumpy. It also makes us jumpy, right? It makes us more irritable in general. So just doing a few 3 to 5 breaths is really a wonderful practice for anxiety and just in general. And my last tip for you, my friends, is to single task. Well, obviously, what does that mean? It's the opposite of multitasking. All right. We are really living in a culture right now that rewards doing more and doing it faster. And the truth is, your brain actually isn't able to focus on more than one thing at a time. It just switches really quickly, which exhausts us and does raise our stress levels and anxiety. So I'm going to ask you to think about something that you can uncouple and single task today. Something like, think about how many times you're doing the dishes while on the phone, or you're listening to a podcast while you're driving, or you're taking your dog for a walk and listening to music, or calling your mom, like all the things that are happening coupled together. I'm going to ask you to pick one of those things and practice doing just that thing. All right. So take something simple to start, because this can feel a little bit uncomfortable. For example, maybe in the morning when you take a shower, you're planning out your entire day in your head. See if you can just be in the shower. Just feel the water on your body, experience what it's like to do that one thing without something else attached to it. And just notice how it helps you feel less anxious when you do that. Okay, so just to review, anxiety is a serious issue. It's affecting a great number of Americans. Listen back to hear that part. The 3 tools that I have for you to help manage anxiety through a mindfulness lens is to 1, drop into your body, 2, to do 3-5 breaths, and 3, to single task something in your day. All right, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed this little informative video. If you have any other questions, please be in touch. Reach out. If this is something that you struggle with, this is what I do. So please, please, please reach out for support. And if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please share it. Okay, have a great day. Take good care.